Whilst researching my last video on can whale poo cool the planet, I discovered that dogs are used to sniff out whale feces. I was so fascinated by this that I wanted to investigate further and see if dogs help animals in other ways. I found that dogs have been used to detect the scat of various animals, from cetaceans to lowland gorillas, and Javan rhinos to tortoises. They can also detect other biological material, such as hair, urine, and burrows. They are also used to detect live wildlife, such as koalas, brown tree snakes, and birds, such as the kiwi and the kakapo. The other ways in which they help is in the detection of tusks and ivory, as well as the firearms used by poachers. The dogs that have been used to help with conservation work are carefully chosen and have certain attributes which make them suitable for this kind of work. Air scenting is the most common search technique used in conservation detection, and so one of the most important biological characteristics needed of the dog is a good sense of smell. They also need good vision and hearing. The most common dog breeds used are working or sporting dog breeds, which have the morphological characteristics which allow them to keep working under challenging search environments, long working hours, and unfavourable weather conditions. The dogs also need strong drives, such as play and food, and good problem-solving skills, intelligence, and can easily be trained. In my video on whale poo, I mentioned that dogs are used to detect the scat of baleen whales in order to analyse its iron content. Dogs have also been used to track orca feces to help provide information on the health of the southern resident orca population, which is key to the protection of these magnificent animals. From 2008 to 2014, fecal samples were collected using detection dogs and analysed for various hormone metabolites. Progesterone and testosterone metabolites were analysed to assess the occurrence, stage and health of pregnancy in female orcas. It was estimated that 69% of all detectable pregnancies were unsuccessful. Up to 33% failed relatively late in gestation or immediately after birth, when the energetic cost to the female orca is especially high. When all the results were analysed, it was found that the low availability of Chinook salmon appears to be an important stressor for this population, as well as a significant cause of late pregnancy failure. The conclusion was that Chinook salmon recovery is a priority when it comes to the protection of this population of orcas. In the paper that describes these results, there is a lovely description of how the dogs work. These dogs can be any breed and almost any size. The thing that makes them great at their task is an extreme obsession to play ball. Around 98% of the dogs are from rescue shelters. Unfortunately, the owners were unable to match their energy levels and had to give them up. The pairing of these dogs with the right handler is critical to the success of the work. These amazing dogs are able to smell the orca's scat up to 1 nautical mile away. The boat is driven perpendicular to the wind, at least 200 yards downwind where the orcas have been sighted. They ride on the bow of the boat, and as the edge of the scent cone is approached, the dog's behaviour changes from resting to actively perched far over the boat. As the boat passes through the centre of the scent cone, which is where the scent is at its strongest, the dog leans heavily over the windward side of the boat, following the strongest scent. This action informs the handler to direct the boat driver to turn into the wind. Taking cues from the dog, the driver is able to stay on the scent line until the sample is reached. At this point, the dog becomes restless, as the scent surrounds the boat and there is no longer a clear direction to follow. If the boat travels out of the scent cone, the dog changes position to look back to where the scent was strongest. Once the first sample is collected, it is presented to the dog, and then immediately the dog gets a few minutes of play with its ball. These dogs play an essential role in collecting data which will help formulate strategies to protect these orcas. In an amazing demonstration of how dogs can actually save the lives of other animals, a dog named Bear found more than 100 injured, sick, dehydrated and starving koalas during the wildfires that raged in Australia in 2019 and 2020. His obsessive-compulsive behaviours made it difficult for him to find a home, but perfect for finding the koalas that needed help. It is a difficult task for humans to spot koalas in the treetops, as they are well camouflaged, quiet, and usually sitting very still. but of course dogs can smell them. Once it was safe for Bear and his team of humans to go into the burnt area, Bear runs off finding fresh scats and urine. Once he finds a koala, he drops to the ground and refuses to move on. It is then up to the humans to look up and locate the koala. Once the koala is spotted, then Bear gets his ball to play with. The humans assess the koala's health, looking at physical body condition and the scat found at the base of the tree. They also assess if there is enough food in the area for the koala, and a decision is made as to whether the koala needs to be rescued and treated by a vet. So then begins the task of catching the koala. This could be by coaxing the koala down using a pole with a flag at the end, or in a trap left overnight at the base of the tree. Detection and tracking dogs are becoming increasingly important for anti-poaching units across Africa. They are frequently deployed in villages and at roadblocks where potential poachers and traffickers see how easily the dogs can sniff out and detect rhino horn, ivory, pangolin scales, bushmeat, or other illegal products hidden away. They are also great at detecting firearms, which poachers hide several days before the operational night. After an incident, these amazing dogs can locate a shooting spot, then track a poacher scent for up to 48 hours after the event. Even if they don't catch the poacher, valuable intelligence can be gathered about routes, the number of men involved, and what transport was used. In Kruger National Park, a group of dogs has been used since 2018 to help protect rhinos. It has been estimated that in that time, 45 rhinos have been saved. The typical success rate for stopping poachers in this area was 3 to 5%, but with the introduction of dogs, it has gone up to around a staggering 68%. Dogs have also been used in New Zealand since the 1970s to locate rare birds and more recently lizards. These are known as protected species detection dogs. They have been used to detect kakapo, kiwi, takari, taiko, skinks and geckos for monitoring and translocation purposes. For example, on Kapiti Island, the dogs were used to find kiwis several months before they were due to be translocated. Temporary transmitters were attached to the birds and swabs and blood samples were taken for disease screening purposes. On the day of their capture, the little spotted kiwis were tracked using their transmitters and the dogs were used to search their known daytime burrows. Each kiwi was then placed in a specially designed transfer box and transported by boat from the island to the mainland. Use of these dogs is thought to have advanced the progress of these projects by about 10 years. Dogs known as predator detection dogs have been used since 2002 to detect the presence of mammalian predators, including rodents, mustelids, cats, and hedgehogs. They are particularly useful when predator numbers are low and other predator detection methods, such as tracking tunnels and traps, have difficulty confirming their presence. Once the dogs have detected the predators are killed using toxins, traps, or shooting. They are also used for surveillance of supposedly predator-free sites. So just how awesome are these dogs? Through having the right temperament, training, and human handlers, they are able to help other members of the animal kingdom and in some cases even save their lives. How heartwarming is that?